Hello, I'm Pete Martin. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in other videos of mandolin, fiddle, improvisation, and many other musical subjects, click the subscribe banner below. And if you want to be notified when I post new videos, click the bell icon right next to it. This is a series of videos on practicing. Watch them all and incorporate any of these ideas into your playing you think can help. One thing is practicing more efficiently can definitely help players reach their goals quicker. And we're going to take a look at one aspect of more efficient practice here. One thing I very highly suggest is when you're practicing, make sure that you do no more than, say, 10 minutes at a time, or you can do 5 minutes at a time. What I like to do is set a timer for 5 minutes, really think of what I want to accomplish in this next 5 minutes, then sit down and work at that. And as soon as the timer goes off, I get up and kind of refresh my mind for, it doesn't have to be very long, for 30 seconds, a minute, sometimes 2 minutes. And then I sit back down again. But before I sit back down again to practice again, I think, what do I want to accomplish in the next 5 minutes? I found that this was an extremely efficient way of doing things, but it took several years to think this. I'm going to tell a little story here. People who've seen a bunch of my videos know that in the early 90s, I went through some very serious overuse injuries where I had to quit playing for about 3 years. And when I did finally find a performing arts doctor who really helped me, her suggestion was to practice no more than 5 minutes at a time. Well, I'd been used to practicing, just hours and hours and hours a day, sometimes as many as 16 hours in a day I would practice. Quite often I would practice a minimum of 10 and sometimes as many as 16 hours a day for several years. So it's no wonder that I ended up with all these overuse injuries. But I had been so used to just sitting down and playing hour after hour. I could easily play 2 hours without ever getting up and playing almost the entire time. Okay, so when she said, I want you to practice 5 minutes, the first thing out of my mouth was, stupid me, the first thing out of my mouth was, well, I won't get anything done. So she described this process that I just described of setting a timer, but before you sit down and play, think of what you want to accomplish. And so I did that for the next couple weeks, and when I went back in to see her again, I was amazed at how much I'd been able to learn in such a short amount of time. And what it did was it very much dawned on me that all that time I'd been playing that much, I'd been just kind of mindlessly going through things, and that doesn't always help you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. What happens is things just kind of come out as they come out, but you don't really steer them in any particular direction. Quite often what I was finding when I think back on it is I'd reach a certain amount in my development, and then I'd go, I'm doing this so inefficiently, I'm going to have to go back and unlearn how I'm doing it and relearn a more efficient way. So I would do that, but if I just had a much better idea of this whole concept of learning more efficiently, I think I would have been able to bypass all that, and I'd probably be a fair amount better player today. Anyway, this is something I would very much suggest trying. 5 to 10 minutes, I think, is about the maximum amount of time that anybody can really focus. And when you do this practicing, now remember, practicing is different than playing. We saw that in video number 2. So if you haven't seen video number 2 of the Practice Strategy series, you might want to go look at that. But this whole idea of practicing and playing being two different things. And so we're talking about the practice part right now. I should say the practice part here because I said that as practice, didn't I? But you should do all this under the practicing umbrella. 5 minutes at a time or 10 minutes at a time, and set a timer. And then when the timer goes off, get up and relax yourself. Go get a drink of water. Just walk around, breathe deeply, for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. And then before you sit down for another short practice session, think of what you want to accomplish. And you may even want to go as far as to write that down. If you follow this method of doing your practicing, I can almost guarantee you'll get better results. And one of the reasons why is your concentration will be much better. And you'll focus more on what you really want to get done in this practice period right now. It almost always leads to better results. I would very much suggest, if you're able to do it, keep your instrument out to where you can get to it even for just 30 seconds to a minute, because it's amazing how much you can accomplish in that short amount of time with this whole idea of focused practice. Even if it's been like 3 hours since you last touched it, 30 seconds to a minute, a couple, 3 times a day can really help to get a concept into your mind and into your hands. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you try these ideas. Always have fun and enjoy the journey. I'm Pete Martin.